I'm Darkzy, I'm from Nottingham, I make bassline. I also wear snapbacks and sunglasses, and I'm also a cunt. When I was about 12, obviously, I got an older brother in it. He was on the bassline thing. TS7, DJ, EJ, all them big man things, Jamie Duggan, Sean Banger Scott, all that. But it was mainly the DJ, EJ volumes, like volume 17 is probably the first volume I've ever heard, maybe 16, but it's 17 that got me into it. From then on, when I was 12, it took me about 3-4 years to actually get into it properly, making it. But then the time that came in, it was, bassline was dying heavily, and then dubstep started coming in, like Bengar Scream, When Scream, Bengar Brought Out Night. It was crazy. I was probably, when I started year 7, must have been 12 in it when I started year 7. So it must have been about 12, 13, 14, and that's when I started listening to dubstep, is when 14 plus. But at my school, I was pretty much the only guy listening to dubstep. Like, everyone hated it, and still now everyone I know still don't really like dubstep. Fuck you, innit? Dubstep's the best, and bassline is. I said I started making bassline again, so I used to make dubstep. Started making bassline again in like what, 2014, and it took me a good year and a half to make a decent tune, and I made a tune called I think it was Dark Nights. Came out on Project All Out Records, and it went off a little bit. It had like 20,000 views or something. This is crazy, because it's fucking cringe as fuck, but I don't know why, because my memory's shit, because all I do is get wavy, like my brain cells are wiped. But I can remember there's that moment, I was sitting in my bed. I used to live at my dad's old house, and I was sitting in bed, MSN days as well, webcam things, and I was chatting to like what, three, four of my mates, like, was on webcam, and it must have been about 11:30, which back in the day, yeah, I was like, yo, school night, it's a bit lit. I don't know, I can't even, I wish I could, but I can't remember what tune I was listening to, but it was a DJ, EJ thing, so I used to LimeWire them. Yo, EJ, I love you, bro. But I used to LimeWire it, I'm sorry. But yeah, I was listening to a tune. I remember I put in the MSN chat in it. I was like, yo, I'm gonna make bassline in it, and then me fidget spinning. First piece of music I ever remember is I'm not even gonna lie, yeah, my first ever CD was.
Go on.
And I must have been 5, 6, but I don't know why I can remember. I can. Do you know Cheeky Girls? Not even gonna lie, bro, it was. Mum will think I'm lying, yeah? No, I think they're butters. No, yeah, it's we are the cheeky. Obviously, Brucey will back me up on this. There's a lot, because I think the most embarrassing show I've ever done is my debut at Fabric. Basically, I had 5 shows in a week, and Fabric was I think it was 4th. And I met Skepsis early in the day and was doing a little collab and was just drinking beers, and I was already fucked and I felt like shit. And then at night time, it was Skepsis' mate's birthday, so we met them, got fucked up, and then I think my set, yeah, 6 till 7 AM my set was as well. So by the time it got to 6 AM, I was fucked. I couldn't walk. I had 4 nosebleeds. This picture's its dog. And basically, I got on the decks, dropped 2 tunes. The MC said, basically, bro, you too fucked. You need to get off. But I didn't. I took it like a man. Hour later, I was there, alive. I say there's so many best shows. Like, this is my first big show, which was supporting My New Lane in Leicester, Lucid. It was sick. My first Bass Fest show on New Year's Eve. There's so many. My first Krudd, when it was Flex. I'd say there's been much bigger shows and much sicker shows, but the moment that was my first ever big show to like a crowd of 100, with Bear Man there who was supporting me in that, and it was just sick. So I'd say the first ever Flex I played, supporting Skepsis. Last tune I dropped, CDJ got broke, Skepsis did an hour on one deck. All good vibes. And I lost my virginity that night. Basically, I'd say I got my first ever DJ gig in July. I think it was like July the 4th, 5th, which is the one I was just on about. Rooster gave me, it was a Flex, it was supporting Skepsis. It went off because I made a 1 tune called What's Going On, which is now with Brucey. And from then it was going good. I got a couple more bookings, Lucid, a couple of little ones. And then I made Gum Fingers with Mez. And a couple like Glot Rhythm. Glot Rhythm got a bag of views, big up Deep Rock. But then everything was picking up, and then bassline, everyone else started picking up as well. Like, bassline was getting a lot more views, a lot more events here and there. And then one day at work, I was just working my job in it, and I started making a remix to Kyla and Paleface, Do You Mind? And then I did it, and then a couple of weeks later, One Dance came out, and I was like, if I put the Drake vehicle in, it might get more views. So I did it, and then it's pretty much from then kicked off. Like it's on 1 million views now, just over. My agent, manager now, Joe, mine and Bruce's dad, Skepsis' dad, is the dad. He took me on, he got me a couple of shows, got me on a couple of bookings, started like progressing, and then just lifted up from there. I made a couple more tunes, made the Scream In For The Kill remix, started getting tunes on, what do you call it, Fabric, all that good shit, and my SoundCloud reached like what, 2 million views, and it was all going good. And then I got signed to Echolocation, which is my agent now, which has got like Chasing Status on gigs, all the fucking sick guys, and now since then it's just been a madness really. But I'd say my first biggest inspiration is TS7, because his tune, or one of his tunes on early DJ AJ, is probably what I first ever heard, and Raise Your Glasses, that's the sickest tune ever, I'll always say that. My second inspiration is T2, because Saving All My Love, Show Me, all them old school bangers like that. The only T2 Nene Monster Rhythm, me and Bruce drop it every set we do together last. And then just cry and get emotional wavy. My third biggest inspiration, this is the thing, because there's so many names I want to say right now, but I think I'm going to have to go with a dubstep name, because a dubstep did play a big part in my life and getting to where I am now. So, even then, there's so many, like, Mum won't know yet, I'll say Borgor in it. Bro step, fuck off, I don't care. Borgor's a G, and that's why my sound's a bit more skettier than other sounds. But
old time man like Darkzy, yeah?
Free favourite alcoholic drinks. Now we talk. Fucking hell. Obviously, I'll say number one, fucking Taylor Jerry's with Coke and 3 ice cubes. And if you're feeling generous, a bit of lime, but it depends on the night, you get me? I'd say my second, if I'm not steaming, my second is a Heineken. Nice, cold Heineken. My third, I feel like I should put a shot in there, innit? What shots do I like? See, Sambuca I'd say is my third, white Sambuca. But I remember New Year's Eve 2014, I had just over a quarter of a bottle and ended up falling over on the ice, smacking my head, and Feds had to take me home. So, yeah.
Old time man like Darkzy, yeah?
First, peach schnapps. I hate peach, I hate schnapps. It literally, I remember the last time I had it, I had one, I was sick everywhere, all over. My second one is Guinness. A lot of mine would disagree, but I just don't like it. It's too smooth and weird tasting, like, ugh, it's a bit weird. My third, if it's mixed, I'm calm with it, I'll drink it. But brandy is a shot, life ruiner, night ruiner. As you can see, my Bass Fest, New Year's Eve, 2016. Oh, I'm breathing it so hard. The wrong one. Darkzy. I ain't got a K in. That's an important. Yeah. Bro.
Old time man like Darkzy, yeah?